Hi, and welcome to Dicer. Today we will be learning, simulating, and analyzing the crap strategy called the Triple Lux. The Triple Lux is considered a very aggressive strategy, where if the dice roll in your favor, you will walk away from the table with some huge wins. This strategy involves a concept called a power press, which means when a bet wins, you add additional money to your winnings to press up that number to the max. For example, let's suppose you are betting $18 on the 6 and 8. Once an 8 rolls, your winnings in this case would be $21. A power press is made by taking your winnings and adding additional money until it is divisible by the unit bet for that number, which for the 6 and 8 is $6. Since 24 is divisible by 6, you would add $3 to your $21 win and press the 8 by that amount, taking your once $18 bet to now $42. This type of pressing strategy is considered risky because you are not collecting any money on wins, but rather adding additional money to the bet to reap more reward if that number hits again. To play the Triple Lux, you will first wait for a point to be established and then bet the minimum bet across all numbers. For a $15 minimum table, this would be $96 across. You will now power press each number as they hit, and you will do this twice before finally collecting on the third hit, hence the name Triple Lux. The idea for this strategy is that once a Triple Lux has been achieved, it will more than pay for your initial bet, while at the same time leave you in a very good position with all of your other bets still pressed. This strategy is known for the maximum winnings on long rolls, since multiple Triple Luxes could occur during a long roll. Now let's learn how to create this strategy in the Dicer Strategy Builder. To get started, we will first set all of the place bets within the point event block. Remember, we are going to start out with minimum bet values for all of these bets. Once we have the minimums in place, the next thing we will need to do is keep track of each place bet win separate from one another. In our previous video, we learned about how to use variables, and it turns out this is the perfect tool to keep track of these win amounts. To accomplish this, we will create 6 variables, one for each place bet, the 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, and 10. These variables will keep track of the number of wins each place bet has received. We will need to initialize them in the comeout event block to each have a value of 0. Now that we have our variables, we now need to add some conditions to each bet so that these variables will increment when each bet wins. We can do this by adding an if block inside of each bet. The condition that we need to achieve to both press the bet as well as increment our variable should read as follows. If this bet did win and the variable amount is less than 2, then power press this bet and increment our variable. To achieve this condition, we will first add the AND operator. On the left side of this operator, we will drag and drop the condition this bet did win, which is only true if that bet won on the previous roll. On the right-hand side of the AND operator, we need to compare our variable amount to be less than 2. This requires our logical comparison block. For the left-hand side of the comparison, we will drag and drop our variable amount. We can then select less than as the operator. And finally, for the right-hand side of the block, we will add an amount block and set it to the value of 2. Now that we have our if statement in place, we can achieve the then operation of our logical statement. Here we will first want to power press this bet, which can be achieved using the bet action block and selecting power press in the dropdown. Next, we will need to increment our variable. This can be done by simply using the change variable block, which defaults to change the value by 1. Now that we are done with our logical operation for a place 4 bet, we can simply copy the if statement and paste it in all the other place bets. After we are done with this, we need to go back through all of our conditions and ensure that we have the proper variables selected for that bet. We also cannot forget to change the variable in the Change Variable block as well. Although it may seem like we are done, there is just one last thing we must do. Currently in our come out roll, we are resetting the variables to 0, but we are not resetting the values of our bets to their initial amounts as well. In order to achieve this, we can simply use the Set Bet Amount block for each place bet, where we will then reset their bet amounts to the initial minimum bet amount. We are now done building the Triple Lux. Let's see how it performs. For this strategy, we recommend at least $1,000 for a $15 minimum table. In this case, it's doing pretty well. As you can see from the graph, there are some large dips in your bankroll, which is expected if a 7 rolls when your bets have been power pressed a few times. As long as you hit that Triple Lux though, you will not be losing any money at the table. If we compare this series of rolls with other strategies, we can see that it does indeed perform better. In short, we think that the Triple Lux is a great strategy. However, it is hard to recommend playing this strategy unless you are playing it on a table with a low table minimum, such as a $5 or a $10 minimum table. You also need to prepare yourself to lose your money quick if the dice do not roll in your favor. However, if the dice do roll in your favor, you are going to have a great time. At Dicer, we give this strategy a B+. As always, please like this video and subscribe to this channel so that we can produce more strategy videos like this one. Thank you for watching.